looking at a spiritual rest, because sometimes life is just going to be crazy, and there's often going to be a long list of circumstances that we cannot control. And this long list of circumstances that are anything but restful. They'll provoke weariness, anxiety, insecurity, fear, anything, all of those things can actually be the opposite of rest.
Yeah.
But if we can learn to have the spiritual rest, then we can have a truly restful heart in the midst of whatever's going on around us.
That is so true. Yeah. It's just like, as the title of this conversation, cultivating it.
Yes.
You have to work at it. It's not just something that you're just going to fall into and find it there.
Right. Well, one of the passages from scripture that we think about a lot when it comes to rest, Matthew 11, verses 28 through 30, when Jesus says, "Come to me and I will give you rest."
Right.
We can hear in that, rest is a gift. It's not something that I have to go out and make it happen, even though we're going to talk through practical steps to cultivate it.
Right.
But then he also says, to take my yoke upon you and learn from me. And that's where the cultivating comes in. It comes from walking with him, from taking active steps. This picture of taking on his yoke is actually a farming metaphor from oxen that would be yoked together to plow a field. Well, in one sense, that's not very restful. That's very hard work to do. And, as you mentioned earlier, I think, we think about rest as being doing nothing or an absence of work.
Right.
But work and rest actually go hand in hand.
They really do.
You can even look in creation, 6 days of work and a day of rest, they go together. And so cultivating that rest, there's some active steps that we can take to have actually an active rest. Sounds like an oxymoron, doesn't it?
It does, but it doesn't, because I know for me, to make my brain slow down, my body has to speed up. And I've learned that about myself. And so I have to be active. I have to do very strenuous sports in order for my brain to shut down. Which can drive my husband crazy, because I'm out paddleboarding. I'm on my aerial silks. I'm doing crazy stuff. But that's the only way my brain will shut down.
That's one thing that my husband has noticed about himself too, is and it came when we were trying to really focus on be more intentional with the Sabbath day each week. He was trying to kind of shut down and do nothing, and realized that wasn't restful for him, because his job, he's primarily at computers and he's using his mind. And he learned over time that to rest, he needs to be physically active. So for him, doing construction projects is restful. And I think it's key for us to realize that rest looks different for each one of us.
Yes.
We have very different personalities, and we're wired differently. And so we don't rest in the same way, which means tonight I don't have a simple 3-step plan for us, because I could share what works for me and I'll share some of those ideas, but we're all different people. And so this is part of that process of cultivating rest, is learning what is restful for you.